This long second night continues as a new traitor arrives at my pulpit. With Tara being chosen, this brings the total traitors up to 2. How will this dynamic duo navigate the game to get to the prize pot? Let's bring in our new traitor and see how they are reacting to the news and how they feel when they come face to face with their partner in traitor crime.
There we go. Hello.
Hello, new
There you are.
traitor.
Hello. How are you?
Congrats. Good. Congrats on being selected as a traitor in the game.
Thanks. I'm so excited.
Before we do anything, you must take the traitor oath.
Oh, great. Okay.
So, do you promise to lie and deceive through the entire game?
I do.
Are you willing to murder a fellow player every night?
With pleasure.
And do you vow to keep your identity and the identity of your fellow traitors a secret even after your elimination if it happens?
I do.
You are officially a traitor in the game. Happy murdering.
Yay. Thank you.
So you might wonder why you? Well,
Yeah.
early today, the traitors were tasked to take on the traitor test. And if they avoided being eliminated at the first round table, they got to choose who they wanted to bring on over to the dark side.
Okay.
You have been chosen. This is a mandatory change for your role, but this is your chance to put the game in your hands.
Okay.
If the traders avoid detection and find a way to navigate the game, you could get to the end and win the cash prize pot. So, a couple questions.
Sure.
How are you feeling knowing that you will be a trader in the game?
I'm pumped. Yeah. I wanted to be one. I mean, you were the only one I told that to, but yeah, I can't say I wasn't a little bummed when I wasn't initially. But I kind of initially just went with it. It's like, all right, if I'm not, I'm not. At least I don't have to lie. I can just play this as me. And I think I was doing okay so far. I mean, my name didn't come up yesterday. I've chatted to a few people and made some bonds, I think. So I'm
Well,
curious to see if any of them are lying to me, if they're behind that question mark or not. But
I'd like to know if maybe you could name maybe 3 players that you think the
it
original
could be.
trader could be, and for each, why do you think they may have brought you into the game, and why do you think that they could be a traitor?
Um, yeah, I mean, obviously, I was thinking about it since I got your message. I think there's a few options. I mean, I think it's natural to guess potentially the person I voted for initially yesterday, maybe just as a because I was on to them. I don't know if I'm sure of that, but I think it could be a natural guess. So that would be Ryan G. Um, I think potentially also like, well, watch me be so wrong. Like a say a Jessica or an Anthony or someone who I've maybe built trust with. I think that could just think, oh, they're trustworthy and willing to play with me. Um, and then I'll just like for my third one, I'll just say Ron, just because he's just generally traitory.
All right. Well, who is this traitor that has selected you to be part of their dastardly duo? It is time to reveal that to you. Will the original traitor please take 10 seconds and then please
Okay.
reveal themselves?
Who will it be? Oh, the hood and everything. I love it. Hey! Hi! How's it
Welcome.
going? The blonde assassins.
You bet.
Oh, this is great. I don't know if it's good or bad that I guessed you, but
I think it's bad.
yeah,
Well,
that was
right,
gonna be fun.
Traitors, your team has grown. A few questions, and then I will let you have some time to plan and how you want to move forward. First and importantly, how do you both feel about the game right now and your placement in it?
Well, I know my name was thrown around quite a bit last night.
Yeah.
I think there was a few people that were, did a good job, Tara included, at kind of deflecting a bit my name. So was shocked that I didn't get any votes last night, but very happy that I didn't. So I'm hoping that little blip with Anthony is like squashed and there's nothing else to sort of point people's fingers at me. I know I haven't heard any rumblings of Tara's name being suspicious, so that puts her in a good position, I think.
Yeah, I think it's, I mean, first of all, it's really, really fun. Like both nights have been great. I think it's a good mix of people who are just like, a lot of, we got a lot of sort of observers who are sitting back, and then there's some great people to deflect who will take what am I trying to say? Like the heat, because they're really vocal and going full steam ahead. And like, yeah, like I was surprised right on the first night to have some people who are just like, boom, I'm going to throw out some names right away, and like a really good discussion going. So I think it's going great. I think this is a great combo. I'm really excited about this.
Me
And
too.
I think we can do some cause some chaos.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
I should let you know, I did let Jessica know earlier, you will not be murdering tonight.
Oh, okay.
However, 3 shields were won in secret, so how will you navigate when it is revealed no one was eliminated this round and speculations start to take place?
Interesting. Okay.
I think it's I think it's really beneficial, actually. I think
Yeah.
um there's two people I know of that have shields. I don't know who the third is. So I know, well, I don't know. People have said that Shannon has said she has a shield,
Yeah. That's what I
and
heard.
Ryan P has said that he has a shield.
Oh,
So
interesting. Okay.
it'll be interesting. I'm assuming people will think that the traitors were like
Blocked.
they were blocked. So I
Yeah.
think that caused some good chaos.
Yeah. Okay. I completely agree with you actually. And especially if some of those people have been vocal about getting them, like there's a lot we can work with there. um, yeah. So yeah, the Shannon was the one I knew too. I was curious coming on if whoever I met with tonight knew or had one, or
Uh, mhm.
yeah. Um, you obviously didn't get one. Yeah.
I didn't even try for one because I was paranoid that I probably wasn't listening to the instructions closely enough, but I was paranoid that somehow if I had gone for it or received it, it would have been somewhat revealed, like it wouldn't have been fully secretive. And I was just like,
Yeah.
for this one, I'm just gonna play it safe and just like play by the rules. But knowing how it, assuming the rules go that way for next time, I'm totally gonna go for the
Yeah.
shield.
Yeah. I went for it too. Like, oh, are you interrupting us, Philip? Do you need to?
Go ahead, go ahead. You're still talking
Okay.
about what I asked.
Okay. Yeah, I went for it too. I didn't have high hopes because I knew how late I got back. But I did mention it in a room with a couple of people that I had gone for it. And then I did tell Ron I didn't get it. I believe that's all I revealed. So yeah, I mean, back to your point, I think there's knowing that information, there's, angles we can play in terms of like, who might have gone for one of those people. Like there wasn't a ton of traction with it, but the Ryan thing, could be resurfaced and stirred up a bit there. And so I think there's something we could do with that. So yeah, I think I feel okay, but
I'm
navigating
going to
this.
give you guys, this is just because I think it's a perfect chance for you guys to talk and come together and plan while you've got it. So I'm going to give you guys 15 minutes to strategize here, and I'm going to turn off the camera and let you guys talk.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I did want to say you were completely right in why I picked you. Because I think we were building some good trust.
Yeah.
And I know you're a strong player, and I know you want to play the game and aren't kind of messing around. So I knew you would be in it to win it. So I appreciate that. The other angle that I took with this, because I considered a few people, and I haven't really talked about this with anybody, but I came into it before I was selected thinking that Phil would pick, knowing like the ratio of guys versus girls, I figured he would pick one male and one female.
Yep.
So I'm hoping that with the dual female traitor vibe, that if one of us got voted out, it would shield the other one from being picked.
Okay.
Like, after knowing what, like, even before last night, I wasn't confident that I can, like, I'm not confident I can make it to the end of the game. And so I just figured like it would be a really good, I think, me getting out first, I think would be a really good shield for you, because then maybe people will think they got the female, like they got the girl out. It's probably a guy who's next.
Yeah.
And I feel like I don't want to bring too much survivor talk into this, but I feel like we've had a lot of like male winners, and I've tried numerous times to do like an all female alliance, and it never works. And I was like, maybe,
yeah, they always die.
no, I was like,
I'm
maybe this
into it too.
work. So
yeah, no,
that
I
was my
couldn't
reason.
agree more. No, thanks for sharing all that. I couldn't agree more. I'm obsessed with there's two women in here. Like I don't think, yeah, I think there's, and like a lot of the drama and things, like it's been guys, and I think they'll be thought for sure that there's at least one guy. And
For sure.
yeah, I think we've got, in terms of the heat on you the other night, I think you did a really good job of, squashing it. Especially like I think Anthony also helped you without knowing you were a traitor. Like it was great.
Yeah.
Like watching it back now, knowing you were a traitor, like
it's so funny. And it's just like, but I mean, like, it's funny that he picked up on something that I like. Even looking back on the conversation, I don't know if I was overcompensating. So what happened was, we're in a music league together right now, and we were talking about that, and I mistook him for the person who was actually in first place. And it caused a little bit of confusion. And I think first light second there, he thought that he was leading, and he wasn't, because I thought he was somebody else. So I was like apologizing profusely for it. I was like, sorry for the mix up. And then I was all like,
don't murder
please
me.
don't murder me for this mistake. Right. And I guess he interpreted that as like, begging.
Yeah.
But that was my reasoning for it. But it's funny that, I don't know, that something perked up in his ears there. So yeah.
Yeah, maybe. But like also, like I've been kind of talking to him quite a bit. Like of the people I've been chatting with, he's one of the ones I've been chatting with the
Okay, that's
most.
good.
And knowing, yeah, it is. I think we could use that. And knowing that how he is and who he's talked about, like he never said your name to me at all. And so I think it was potentially an innocent comment. Like the thing I'm fixated on who told me that information. And like I'm actually more suspicious of like Alex a little bit. Like I think it was Alex who said, Anthony said, and I think the story is being told secondhand, and like I think there's something we can do with that potentially. Like I know Ron is suspicious of Alex.
Yes, so
and
agree. And before I didn't mean to cut you off, I'll let you finish.
That's
okay. Before I got selected, even in like when we were first initially talking, I thought for sure Alex would have been one selected.
Yeah.
I think he's a smart gamer, and the fact that he's like outside the survivor circle, like in my mind gave a little bit of an edge. Like if I was in Phil's brain, that's the person, like I would have cast him as one of them for sure.
He's perfect. Like he's I'm surprised that, like I didn't say him, but I'm like I wouldn't have been surprised. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. So I think Alex trusts me though.
Okay.
Which is why I haven't openly targeted him yet.
Yeah.
But I think so. I'm wondering if I can use him for a little bit longer, and then we can throw him under the bus. But I think he's a perfect, like strong target.
Yeah, I agree. I've been chatting with him. Yeah, I've been chatting with him too, and so far we haven't gotten like too deep in terms of throwing out names out there. But I do think we have a good rapport going. Like he was one that even if I did continue to suspect him, I wasn't gonna vote for him right away because
you didn't want
it would have been something like if you're still around at the end, I might, vote to banish you, but like you're a good person to keep in.
Yeah.
He's a loud personality, friendly, like it was almost like the same reasons I thought it could have maybe been Ryan G last night too. Like I think they're both very like, we're having a great time. We're outside the community. I think this is like, yeah. So.
Yeah. Ryan G, I am leery of him, and I'm sure you are too because you voted for him.
Yeah.
He's probably like number one on my hit list right now. If I could easily pick somebody just
to murder.
Or banish, just whatever. Like I don't trust where his head is at, and I feel like he's changing it all the time. He's a bit of a wild card for me, and that makes me
He's a wild card, and he jumps on to names other people throw out, like as does Alex. Like as soon as someone says a name, he'll be like, "Oh yeah," like so
yeah.
And for that reason, like I think they're kind of good to keep in because I think there's something you can do with that in terms of deflecting onto them. Like I think Shannon's another one that I wouldn't vote murder because I think she's very vocal and
yeah. Yes, I agree. And
maybe I could be convinced otherwise. Like
no, I totally agree. I was just gonna say it's and maybe I'm overthinking this and putting too much stock on the like guys versus girls stuff, but I'm trying not to dwindle down the female numbers quite yet, right? Yeah.
No, I'm good with that. I mean, we weren't even, right? Like even with I think
it was five girls and 7 guys.
Yeah. So I'm good with that. Like I know we're not murdering tonight, but I don't know how much more chance we'll have other than messenger to talk. So I mean, is there anyone, if we were gonna murder tonight, like that you would have
If I
suggested or
was going to, I well, I was trying to figure out like who wouldn't have a shield,
yeah,
and who. So yeah, Ryan P and Shannon had the shield. Um,
they say.
they say
I
true,
mean, probably, but there's still an element of, is that a tactic to not get murdered?
100%. Um, I I was contemplating Ryan G.
Okay.
But I didn't know if, you know, if that would throw you under the bus because you voted for him, and that didn't feel fair.
Yeah, not right away.
Mhm.
Like, I think I would need maybe like a night or two to kind of make that go
Yeah,
away if we were going to do that. Like
yeah,
to come, although we will with not like with there's another round to happen before we actually murder. So potentially, if we were going to do it tonight, I would say maybe not
no,
because
no,
it
no, for sure,
would look kind of
for sure.
obvious. But yeah,
And he
yeah,
might be one that goes in a banishment anyway. I think people are
he
having
could be.
similar feelings about him, so I wouldn't be surprised if he becomes a target. The other person that I was considering murdering was Ron.
I am into that. Yeah, that's. I have three people circled, and that's one.
Yeah, it just seemed like a very what the fuck chaotic kind of murder for tonight. If we were gonna,
Yeah,
and it could open up so many possibilities of who would have targeted him. So
I agree.
who was
Yeah,
else on the list?
Tina or Ryan P potentially. Like not. But Tina probably third on that list because
Mm-hmm.
she's quiet and the angle could come up of, I mean, we'll see next time. She's normally not, but like she was the, I think, only one who didn't get a chance to say anything and didn't volunteer to say anything at the
Yep.
round table. And
Mm-hmm.
sometimes that is a technique to kind of throw out, you're quiet, you must be hiding something.
Mm-hmm.
Like, however, like looking at, I had so many reasons to keep other people that I sound like I've done all this work. I jotted down some notes like right before. um, yeah, but it was, that was the three names that I had circled.
Yeah.
But I think, yeah,
Yeah,
Ron,
Ryan P would have been a good target if he didn't have the he didn't have the shield.
yeah,
Yeah.
Ron's another one I thought could have maybe got one though. That was the only drawback to
He could have.
Ron is
Mhm.
like he did just kind of, I'm going to get my stuff, and like I was trying to remember who was like showing stuff and volunteering there. Like there was a few people we didn't see any of their things, and
Yeah.
he was gone pretty early, so back pretty early. Like I don't know. So, but some options. I mean, a lot, a lot could change in the next.
And it might change in another night when we have to
Yeah,
do this for real, right?
yeah, exactly. But this was fun. I'm really excited it's you.
Oh, good. I'm glad.
Yeah.
I was contemplating Anthony actually,
Oh
just
yeah.
because I felt like he had such already a big like target on his back, and I was just like,
Yeah.
feed him to the wolves. Let him get voted out, and
Yeah.
they'll be right that he was a traitor all along. And so I was contemplating that, but I wasn't I was worried he would be I don't know how he would have played it, you
Yeah.
know. Mm-hmm. So
Yeah. I really didn't think he was a traitor in all the talking to him, and now I'm like, okay, he's being genuine with how he's playing.
yeah,
So
for sure.
yeah. 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 I think he's still a name that could resurface on its own. I
I
think
think
for
so too.
murdering, like having watched the show and stuff, I think it's like you really got to consider like who's nobody gonna banish. Like those are the ones you
Yes,
have to get right. Like any of the
100%.
names that are around and the loud people, it's like they'll seal their own fate. But
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's really interesting.
Yeah, that was a big consideration of for my first murder too, because I was just like I picked Jonathan just because
Oh yeah, I
he
meant to ask you that.
yeah, like he wasn't a threat at all. He was a little bit of a wild card in the sense of like I didn't know where if he had sort of any sort of allegiance to
Yeah,
anybody. But it just felt random enough that people would go, "Why the hell Jonathan?" And
yeah,
exactly why Jonathan?
and they did.
There
Yeah,
was no reason.
no,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, no, good. It was a good one.
Mm-hmm. Aren't
Yeah,
you happy
there's
now that you can't get murdered?
yeah, there's that. I think I said that to my husband right before I joined. It's like, okay, well, at least I know I'm playing for another
Right?
round. Like,
Yeah.
yeah,
You just have to
yeah,
worry about the banishments now.
exactly. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, it's good. Like, I think the heat on you in the first round and then coming up and then going away, I think that was a good thing. If it was going to happen, it's out of the way. And some of the other, there was already more names starting to come out of the woodwork and stuff after. So I think you're in the clear for at least a
I
little
do
while. Like,
I do worry Ron's a smidge suspicious of me. Even
yeah,
outside of the whole um Anthony thing. Um, because out of everybody he would know me best, but um
like he hasn't said your name to me. Like
okay.
I mean, he's Ron, so I don't know how to be truthful, but he said he's dropping names. Like he said he doesn't. Who Alex is just hit, like number one on
For
is what
sure.
he told
Yeah.
me, and Shannon is he said is another one he's suspicious
Mm,
of. But yeah,
okay.
he hasn't mentioned you
Okay.
to me at least.
All right. Well,
But
that's helpful.
I'd still say I don't know. We could consider him for when we do get to murder. I think it's a good option considering if things stay the same.
Yeah, who knows? I guess we'll have another. I'm assuming we'll have a roundtable tomorrow as well.
I think so.
Because we'll have the breakfast where nobody will be murdered, and then we'll have the challenge. But will we have the roundtable as well, or is that a Thursday night thing? I don't know if Phil's going to give us any insight onto what is scheduled. Probably not, knowing him, and that's
Yeah,
okay.
he's laughing right. He's laughing right now. Oh, there we go.
Well, that's 15 minutes. Perfect timing.
Great.
That's time. So good luck moving forward. We'll see you on day 3 tomorrow, where the news of no murder will take
Put your
place.
game face on. Act surprised.
Yeah.
And viewers, who knows what other surprises there may be.